Avdat, also known as Abdah and Ovdat and Obodat, is the site of a ruined Nabataean city in the Negev desert in southern Israel. It was the most important city on the Incense Route after Petra, between the 1st century BCE and the 7th century CE. It was founded in the 3rd century BCE, and inhabited by Nabataeans, Romans, and Byzantines. Avdat was a seasonal camping ground for Nabataean caravans traveling along the early Petra-Gaza road in the 3rd, late 2nd century BCE. The city's original name was changed to Avdat in honor of Nabataean king Obodat I, who, according to tradition, was revered as a deity and was buried there. History. Before the end of the 1st century BCE, a temple platform was created along the western edge of the plateau. Recent excavations have shown that the town continued to be inhabited by the Nabataeans continuously from this period until its destruction by earthquake in the early 7th century CE. Sometime towards the end of the 1st century BCE, the Nabataeans began using a new route between the site of Moyet-Awad in the Arabah Valley and Ovdat, by way of Maktesh Ramon. Nabataean or Roman Nabataean sites have been found and excavated at Moyet-Awad, Katsra, Hamasa, Mezid-Nekarot, Shara Ramon, Mezid-Male Marmal and Graphon. Avdat continued to prosper as a major station along the Petra-Gaza road after the Roman annexation of Nabataean in 106 CE. Avdat, like other towns in the central Negev highlands, adjusted to the cessation of international trade through the region in the early to mid-3rd century by adopting agriculture, and particularly the production of wine, as its means of subsistence. Numerous terrace farms and water channels were built throughout the region in order to collect enough runoff from winter rains to support agriculture in the hyper-arid zone of southern Israel. At least 5 wine presses dated to the Byzantine period have been found at the site. In the late 3rd or early 4th century, the Roman army constructed an army camp measuring 100 by 100 meters on the northern side of the plateau. Elsewhere at the site, an inscription was found in the ruins of a tower describing the date and the fact that one of the builders hailed from Petra. Around this time, a bathhouse was constructed on the plain below the site. The bathhouse was supplied with water by way of a well, tunneled 70 meters through bedrock. Sites along the Petra-Gaza road were apparently used by the Roman army in the 4th and 5th centuries when the road continued to function as an artery between Petra and the Nabataean Negev settlements. Pottery and coins from the late 3rd to the early 5th century have been found at Mezid-Male Marmal, Shah Ramon and Hamasa, and Roman milestones line part of the road between Avdat and Shah Ramon. A fort with 4 corner towers was constructed on the ruins of early Nabataean structures north of Avdat at Horvat Margora. Milestones have been found on along the Petra-Gaza road north at Avdat between Avdat and Horvat Margora and further up the road towards Halutza. The early town was heavily damaged by a major earthquake sometime in the early 5th century CE. In the ruins of this destruction, a Nabataean inscription in black ink on plaster was found bearing a blessing of the Nabataean god Dushara. The inscription was written by the plasterer one Ben-Gadia. This is the latest Nabataean inscription ever found in Israel. A wall was built around the later town, including a large area of man-made caves, some of which were partially inhabited in the Byzantine period. Under Byzantine rule, in 5th and 6th century, a citadel and a monastery with 2 churches were built on the Acropolis of Abdah. St. Theodore's Church is the most interesting Byzantine relic in Avdat. Marble tombstones inserted in the floor are covered with Greek inscriptions. St. Theodore was a Greek martyr of the 4th century. The monastery stands next to the church and nearby a lintel is carved with lions and it marks the entrance to the castle. Historical sites. Temple of Obodat. The building complex known as the Temple of Obodat sits on the Acropolis of the city. The temple was built as a dedication to the deified Nabataean king Obodat II. The temple stands adjacent to the east of two other buildings, a Christian chapel and a second temple known as the Western Temple. Quote, the temple dedicated to the cult of Obodat the king was built with a hard limestone in the year 09 BCE during the reign of Obodat II. The temple is a tripartite structure, consisting of a porch, hall and adytum. Its overall dimensions are 45 times 36 feet. The building was divided into 4 rooms. First and second rooms were unequal subdivisions of the adytum. The first room is the eastern room, which is the smallest of the two, measuring at 10 times 13. The second room was the western room and the largest of the two rooms, measuring 16 times 13 feet. The third room was the hall, a oblong shape measuring at 26 feet, which is now completely covered by talus. The fourth room is the porch, divided into 2 compartments, one facing west measuring approximately 13 by 13 feet and the other facing east measuring approximately 13 times 15 feet, were divided by a 2FD wall. A worshipper entered through the porch, which faces south, proceeded through the hall to the rooms of the adytum at the northern end. The worshipper then turned about face toward south to worship the images of the deities placed in niches in the wall. The western room contained 2 niches which may have contained the images of 2 Nabataean gods, Alat and Usira. The other room contained a larger single niche where it is believed the deified image of Obodat the king was worshipped. The temple was built to be his eternal resting place and the center of worship for his cult. Today, Avdat was declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in June 2005, but on the 4th of October 2009 the site suffered extensive damage when hundreds of artifacts were smashed and paint smeared on walls and an ancient wine press. 2 men were later indicted for causing Nis 8.7 worth of damages to the site. The men sought to avenge the demolition of a nearby relative's home by authorities. Avdat was also the filming location of Jesus Christ Superstar. Bibliography. Ben David H. The paved Roman road from Petra to the Arava Cathedral 116-31-48. Cohen, R. The excavations in Avdat 1977, Cadmonat 49-50-44-46. Cohen, R. New light on the date of the Petra Gaza Road. Biblical archaeologist 45-240-247. Cohen, R.N.A. Negev.Avdat Hadashot Archaeologio 59-60-55-57. Erickson, Ginny, T. Nabataean, a Roman. Reconsidering the date of the camp at Avdat in light of recent excavations, in Freeman, P. W. M. Bennett, J. Fiamach, Z. T. and Hoffman, B. Limes 18, Proceedings of the 18th International Congress of Roman Frontier Studies held in Amman, Jordan. Barent, Sir. Volume 1, Oxford, 113-130. Fabian, P. Evidence of earthquake destruction in the archaeological record. The case of ancient Avdat. In Big Cities World Conference on Natural Disaster Mitigation in conjunction with the 10th International Seminar on Earthquake Prognostics. Abstracts. January 5-10, 1996. Cairo, Egypt. 25. Korchenkov, A.M., Fabian, P. and Becker, P. Evidence for 4th and 7th century AD earthquakes, Avdat ruins, seismic and historical implications. Annual meeting of the Israel Geological Society, Eilat, March 18–21, 1996. 52. Korchenkov, A.M. and Marza, E. Seismogenic origin of ancient Avdat ruins, Negev Desert, Israel. Natural hazards 18–193–226. Negev, A. Nabataean inscriptions from Avdat, Israel. Exploration Journal 11–127–138. Negev, A. Nabataean inscriptions from Avdat, Israel. Exploration Journal 13–113–124. Negev, A. Chapters in the History of Avdat, Lath, 118–148. Negev, A. Cities of the Desert. Tel Aviv, Negev, A. Obodat, Mamsis and Provincia Arabia, Israel. Exploration Journal 1746–55. Negev, A. The Chronology of the Middle Nabataean Period, Palestine. Exploration Quarterly 101–5–14. Negev, A. The Nabataean Potter's Workshop at Obodat, Bonn. Negev, A. The Churches of the Central Negev, an Archaeological Survey, Review Biblique 81–400–422. Negev, A. The excavations at Avdat 1975–1976, Kadmonit 37–27–29. Negev, A. The Greek inscriptions from Avdat, Iberanius 28–87–126. Negev, A. The Greek inscriptions from the Negev. Studium Biblicum Franciscanum, Collection Minor N25, Jerusalem. Negev, A. Late Hellenistic and Early Roman pottery of Nabataean Obodat. Kedem 22, Jerusalem. Negev, A. The Temple of Obodat. Excavations at Obodat in July 1981. Israel Exploration Journal, Volume 41, No. 1/3 pp. 62–80. Published by Israel Exploration Society. Article stable URL, http://www.jstore.org. Stable 27,926,214. Negev, A. Obodat, a major Nabataean caravan halt, Aram 8–1 and Amp 2–67–87. Negev, A. The Architecture of Obodat, Final Report. Kedem 36, Jerusalem.